In the span of 3 days, Romeo Montague and Juliet Capulet fell madly in love. On the second day, they got married in secret, and on the third and final day, Romeo and Juliet took their lives so they can be together forever. William Shakespeare wrote Romeo and Juliet in 1591. This story takes place in Verona, Italy, where there's an ongoing feud between the Montague and Capulet families. Their children, Romeo and Juliet, believed their love would bring an end to the fighting between their families. Friar Lawrence is responsible for the deaths of Romeo and Juliet. He's responsible for this tragedy because he encouraged the marriage between Romeo and Juliet. He believed that the marriage would end the feud. At first he didn't think it was a great idea, but he still ended up marrying them. In Act 2, Scene 3, Friar Lawrence states, "In one respect I'll die, assistant be, for this alliance may so happy prove to turn your household's rancor to pure love." What he meant by this is that he's happy to marry them, and that their marriage can turn their family's hatred into love. Some might say that Friar Lawrence was never truly on board with the marriage, but he still married them and did many other things to keep both of them together. He's also responsible for this tragedy because he came up with the crazy plan for Juliet to fake her death. He believed that this was the only way to get Romeo and Juliet back together. In Act 4, Scene 1, Friar Lawrence stated, "And this shall free thee from this present shame, of no inconstant toy, nor womanish fear. Abate thy valor in acting it." By this he means that what Juliet is going to do is an act of courage, and she shouldn't back out. He's also responsible for this tragedy because he failed to reach Romeo and fill him in on the plan. In Act 5, Scene 2, Friar Lawrence states, "The letter was full of charge or dear import, and the neglecting it may do much danger." He knew it was very dangerous, that he couldn't reach him, but he still didn't do anything right away. Some might say that it wasn't his fault, but he should have ran to that grave before Romeo got there. He's responsible for the deaths of Romeo and Juliet because he encouraged them to marry each other, knowing it was a bad idea. He also came up with the crazy plan for Juliet to fake her death. Knowing that it was crucial knowledge for Romeo to know the plan, he failed to communicate with him.
All right.